Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maryann Kariuki, and if you're new here, please feel welcome, feel loved, and as you come and as you join the family, make sure you subscribe to my channel. You're going to learn more about travel, about lifestyle, about fashion, food, and so many other things. I am a freelancer. But anyway, I am here to welcome you for episode 5 of Cooking Tuesday. I know it's been a while. I haven't recorded any videos of cooking since last year, but even in this video that you are about to watch, it's not me. I won't be in the video, but I have a guest for you guys. So since I started my YouTube channel, you've never seen any of my friends, I think so, any of my friends, any of my family members. So in this specific episode, and I think all the Tuesdays of this month, my sister, my cousin, my person, my most beloved human being in my life, she'll be doing some recipes for soup this whole month. So there is beef soup, chicken soup, and I don't know, potato soup, all those things. She's the chef, so she knows what she does best. So she is really good in cooking, and you know what? I just told her to make a video for me, and yeah, to show you, to share with you guys a few recipes that you may learn from. So mimi wacha niache kuongea, you will meet her. She is called Kariuki, and I love her very much. Enjoy.
Hi guys, welcome to Maryann Kariuki's channel. My name is Kariuki, and I am just interrupting her channel pleasantly. So I'm gonna share a recipe with you guys that we make in this house probably 3-4 times a week. Okay, it's a soup recipe, real easy to make. We're gonna go through the ingredient list, and don't need to be fancy, just use whatever is readily available. If I have something here that can be substituted, feel free to do so. So main ingredients for the soup base is meat. So we need something that has bone in it just to give it that density. So I have goat meat. This is about like a pound of it. I have some beef shank, which is about half a pound also. And I have beautiful beef rib, which is also about a pound. I mean, half a pound actually. Potatoes, and these just use based on how many people you're cooking for. So for me, my household is 4 people. So this is about like 6-7 potatoes peeled already. You don't need to cut them up. You still want them chunky. I have beautiful limes. Lemons work, but they just don't give the same taste, okay? So if you can find some limes, just use this. Now these you're gonna use at the very end when you're plating your soup, okay? I also have about 1/4 of a cabbage, and the main idea for this soup was from, like, for those of you who've heard like about like the cabbage detox soup, but this is like a remix version of that soup, okay? So I have about 1/4 of a cabbage just sliced out, and then we have our peppers and mint. Okay, if you don't want to use mint or you can't find mint, cilantro or dhania works really well. Feel free. I mean, you know, you can remix it as well. I have, what are these chilies called? So get a few peppers. If you want to use red chili peppers, if you want to use green chilies, it's up to you. Just whatever peppers or whatever degree of hot or mildness you want, use that. So for me, we have habanero and we have jalapenos. Okay, so I have about I'll say like 3 jalapenos. And the way I cut them, you can put them whole like this, just remove the stem, or half them out like that, okay? And for my habaneros, I'm just gonna use one because they're really hot and my son can't take the heat. So I just cut out the stem too, and that's what we're gonna use, okay? And then in this beautiful plate, I have green onion, which I already sliced out and cut. Whatever peppers you have in your house, green peppers, red peppers, it doesn't matter. And I've already kind of cut them out, removed the seeds. And this is just about, I think like 3/4 of a pepper. And I had this remaining, so I'm not gonna waste it, so I'm gonna use this. And this is half an onion, and you're not slicing it, you just kind of dice it, remove the peel. And this is about, I wanna say maybe 8 or 7 cloves of garlic. I didn't slice it out, I kind of just mushed it with my knife. And so these are gonna go into the soup base as well, together with the meat. The potatoes and the cabbage, I'll kind of show you guys an idea of what I usually do. I won't put them in the beginning of the soup because, again, this is a soup that needs to cook really slow so that the meat can be tender. So it will take about 2 hours. So don't do this in a hurry, okay? And then for our spice, now I always use Goya, and I'll probably just use a packet of this. If you don't have Goya, feel free to use like a beef cube. Any beef cube you have is fine. One is plenty, okay? Because most of these herbs and the beef broth will kind of give it just the flavor it needs. So you don't need to do too much in terms of like spicing it up, okay? And then of course salt. So we don't need any oil. We don't need to add anything. This has plenty of oil. So you don't need too much ingredients. So if you don't have any of the meats, feel free to use what is available. If you have chicken in your house, if you have beef or whatever or oxtail works really well too, just use that, all right? So I also have about 2 liters of water. Because while you're cooking the soup, it's taking about 2 hours to cook, you are going to lose some bit of water. So adding water while you're cooking the soup is fine. Based on how much soup you want to make, to be honest, when I make soup, it kind of takes us for 2 or 3 days. So I do want to make plenty of it. So you'll see me add water throughout the cooking process, and that's fine. It won't dilute the soup or anything, okay? Now, I know you guys have really fancy pots in your house. So do I. But this is not a fancy type of recipe, okay? So you want the deepest pot you have. You want a pot that won't burn easily. And this will be enough to kind of hold all the water, all the ingredients. And also, you're not going to have to use too much heat because you're slow cooking this. So don't worry too much about, like trying to find a perfect pot. There's no perfect pot, okay? So here we go. We're not using the green onion right now, so just keep that aside. Like I said, we're gonna use this while we're plating. So add your peppers. So right now what I have in the pot is all the meat. I have my peppers in whole, like don't cut them up, because when you are serving the soup, you don't want to have all these chunks, okay? So what we're gonna do is just let this cook down all the way, and then when the soup is ready, I'm going to strain all of this out, okay? So that's why I'm not cutting stuff up in very small bits. Then I'm going to do my peppers, and not all of them. So I'm just going to do like about 2 jalapenos and 1 habanero for now, right? I'm going to add some salt. Most people ask me how much salt that is. Just add it, okay? This is not a fancy cooking show. We're just doing her thing. So just eye it. And then I'm gonna add the 2 liters of water I have for now. And honestly, for this pot, that is not nearly enough. So I might go ahead and maybe just add another liter of water. And look at that beautiful color, and you can see like already the meat has kind of started releasing all the oils. That's why I was saying don't add any oil to this. Don't try to be frying up anything. So I'm just gonna add about another liter of water. So in total, as we start, we're just gonna start with about 3 liters. That should be enough for now. Okay. And right now my heat is on high, so I'm gonna pull it down to about medium. And we're gonna cover this. And we're gonna leave this, at least for now. We're gonna check back on it in about another hour. So right now is 2:03, am I right? So I'm gonna come back at 3 o'clock, 3:03, and I'm gonna start checking on this. By that time, what I am hoping is that all the veggies would have started to break down, kind of release all the flavors. So all I put in here for now is the peppers, the onion, the jalapenos, 1 habanero, and all of my garlic cloves. Okay, so I still have the rest of the ingredients laid out right here. So we're gonna come back in an hour. So while we're waiting on the soup, because it takes way too long, my little baby, well, she's not very little anymore. She's 10 now, and she's gonna tell us what she loves about this soup or how she likes to eat this soup, because you can pair it with anything. So Jael,
Yes.
what do you like about this soup?
It has a lot of flavor, and it has potatoes, which are my favorite.
Potatoes are good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's just, it goes good with anything.
So what's your favorite thing to eat it with?
Rice.
Well, yeah, my favorite thing to eat it with is noodles. My husband's chapati. So I mean, it's something you can have really with anything. Okay. So Jael and her brother love this with like a side of rice, and it's awesome because like all the meat will have like become really soft and yummy, and the potatoes will be soft, and the cabbage is just, you know, crisp. So we really love this soup. We, like I said, we probably make this soup like 4 times a week. So we have a lot of it. So are you excited about making soup on YouTube for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we would like to tell the people I'm about to start a YouTube channel.
Oh my God, she's a marketer. Okay. She's starting her own YouTube channel, so you guys feel free. I'm going to link her channel down when we do get a chance to actually start that up. You are going to be seeing a lot more of us on this channel, and we're going to be sharing a lot more just family things like recipes that we usually do. Right now we're kind of redecorating our house, so like the little projects that we have. So you are going to be seeing
a lot of experience.
Yes. Hey guys, so I think it's been about an hour, so we're just gonna check on this to see if the vegetables are cooked down, and to kind of see what maybe we need to add to adjust. Or a lot of the times I usually find like I have to add more water at this point. So we're gonna just go ahead and check this. And it is hot and steaming. Oh! I wish you guys could smell this. Like, beautiful. All right, so The vegetables are kind of cooked down, which is what we want. But I'm not gonna sieve them out at this point. I'm still gonna leave them in there. But what I think I need to do, because the water kind of has probably evaporated almost 3/4 of the way, like a quarter of the way. So I'm gonna top this off with a little more water, and then I'm gonna add my mint, more peppers at this stage, and then we're just gonna leave this again, still a medium heat, and we're gonna leave it for like about 45 minutes. And my last 45 minutes, the reason I say 45 minutes is because the last 15 minutes I'm gonna put potatoes, I'm gonna put my cabbage. But the way I do my cabbage now, if you like your cabbage like cooked all the way, then you can just put it directly into the soup. But I'm gonna show you guys that whole process of how I do it, because I don't like my cabbage cooked down. Okay, I still like it crunchy. I like the color like that, to just stay like that throughout the cooking process. So I'm gonna show you how I usually do that. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and add my mint, which we didn't add earlier, and I'm gonna add the rest of the peppers. So which I think I had like 3 left. I'm not gonna add any more habaneros because my son is gonna eat this and he doesn't like too much heat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add probably another liter of water to this. Okay, so just another liter of water. And like I said earlier, you are going to have to keep adjusting the level of water as you cook through this, because the soup is cooking for so long, so the water is just going to keep dissipating. So you have to kind of keep adjusting the water level. Now, it's not going to, I know one of the main questions I've gotten just sharing this recipe with friends is it going to change the taste or the depth of flavor if you keep diluting the soup? Not really, because every time you add water, you kind of give it more time to cook, so the flavor just kind of moves around the soup, so it's not going to change much of the flavor. So I'm only just going to add what we added in there. I just added a little more water. I'm not going to add salt at this point, not yet, until we can taste it at the 40-minute mark. So right now I'm just going to keep it cooking again for another 40 minutes, 35-40 minutes. So we're going to come back in another 40-35 minutes, and the way I check just to make sure if it needs more cooking time or not, I'm going to check with the meat, like all the meat. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of each and kind of cut it down at that 40-minute mark, and just to check the tenderness. So we want the meat falling off the bone, like really tender, soft. You don't want to be eating the meat and it's getting stuck in your teeth. That's nasty. So we're going to check the meat at that point, and if it's not tender enough, we're kind of going to give the soup more time to cook. So really the 2 hours is just an estimate. So it just depends on how fast the meat you're using cooks and how fast it tenderizes. Okay, so right now we're just gonna leave it again for another 40 minutes. So we're gonna come back. It's 3:20 at what, almost 4 o'clock, and we're gonna check it again. So I'll see you back then. All right, so welcome back, guys. So it's been about 45-50 minutes. I had to add a little more water because I just kind of felt like the water is disappearing faster because it's on higher heat. But while we're waiting on that, I did want to discuss, I know we did not go through like what kind of potatoes to use. So in Kenya, I think we mainly just do the Idaho potatoes or russet potatoes. But here we have different kind of potatoes. We have gold potatoes or white potatoes, which is this. We have russet of Idaho, and I think we have like the red potatoes. So honestly, I've used this before for my soup recipe. I didn't like it because this does not cook all the way through, and by that I mean, like, even though it cooks, it's not, you don't break it and it becomes mushy. Okay, so for soup, because you only really have this as the starch, you want potatoes that are gonna cook all the way through and not you know, still hold their form, but also be very smooth and mushy in your mouth. So best potatoes to use for this soup, russet potatoes or Idaho potatoes, right? So at this point, we are going to, I'm going to reduce my heat. I kind of put it on high because I added more water. And as you add water, you might want to also adjust the level of salt that you put, because yeah, it might dilute just the taste of it. So we are at this point not looking too bad. Okay, now you haven't really put any of the spices or anything, so it's gonna look bland, no color to it. But what we're looking for at this particular point is for the soup to be, like for the vegetables to be cooked down. So I'm pretty confident about how much they've cooked down at this point. See, like those are the peppers. I'm looking for like pieces of onion or something to see. Right, and that's like how the onion has cooked down, okay? So I'm pretty confident now about removing and sieving the big chunk of vegetables. And for that, I'm going to use a sieve. If you don't have one of these, oh Lord, almost took my eye out. This works also really well. So either one of these will do, but I like this better. So we're not trying to remove any of the meat. If you have chunks of garlic left, that's okay. If you like your soup chunky and you're okay with this, that's fine too. But I just like a good smooth finish. So I'm gonna take out a bunch of my vegetables. So let's go. So just have like an empty bowl where you can sieve this through and put it in. I might need well, I'm not trying to lose any meat, so all we're doing is just trying to get the big chunks of vegetable out. You can remove your chili at this point, it's fine. I do leave like some chunks in because I still have to cook the potatoes, so I still want to get like the flavor of the chilies and the spice throughout the potatoes too. So I don't really usually remove my chilies. I just want to remove like the mint, the orange peppers, the big chunks of onion, which really are not much because it's kind of cooked down, and that's what we want. Okay. Now I've seen people use this and blend it and then put it back in the soup. You can do that if you like really thick soup. I don't, so I'm just gonna get rid of mine. I'm not gonna use those again. Okay. This process takes a little while. You just have to be patient with it. You want to get as much out as possible. You could just choose to sieve through the whole soup, but we ain't got time for that. This is the easy version to do it. Plus, we do want our soup to still get enough time to cook through and our meat to fall off the bone. So I don't want to take chances pulling it out of the heat. So we're just gonna do this. And all I'm doing is just kind of sieving through the soup. Anytime I get like a chunk of meat, I just put it back. That's what the fork is for. And I think we're in pretty good shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get like every little chunk. But I do want to show you guys. Look at that. Look how pretty. Like, look, those were like whole vegetables and they're cooked down. And honestly, I understand why people blend this and want to put it back in the soup, because this is a lot of flavor. Okay, this is just all our onions, our garlic, our peppers, our chilies. So yeah, that does have a lot of flavor. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. So next, this is the point where I would put my spice, right? So like I said, use Goya if you can find Goya. I know here it's every Mexican store has this. I probably should have said which kind of Goya, right? I don't really think it matters because anything that has like fish or vegetable seasoning would do. If you don't have this, feel free to use any beef cube. I feel like it just does the same job anyway. What you want or what you're looking for from this is just a little more spice, depth to the soup, and also the color. So I am going to use the Goya because that's what I've been using. And I'm just gonna pour that in. And we're just gonna stir this. Now you can use one. One is always safe and it's good. But I'm looking for a little more depth to this soup and a little more color. So I'm gonna use maybe half of this of the second packet. I don't want to overdo it because this also has a lot of salt and we already added salt. So now I like spice, so if you don't like a lot of spice, please don't use a lot of this. You can use one beef cube, that should be plenty, because the soup itself has a lot of flavor from the vegetables. Ooh, found another chili. Oh, I lost it. Okay, okay. All right. So what I'm looking for is this color right here, and I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. Or is this color right here? That orange, a little depth, a lot more flavor. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So I only used about 1.5 packets of the Goya. Alright. So now our potatoes go in at this point. And I do them whole. Now if you don't have time to have this cook down for like another 40 minutes, you can cut them up. Honestly, if you cut them up, it's just gonna, if the potatoes cook through and start dying into the soup, it just becomes too thick, too mushy. Personally, I don't like that, so I'm gonna do them whole. I always do them whole. So those were about 6 potatoes, and I'm just washing everything on me. So once we do that, we're still on medium heat. I just want to make sure everything mixes up together. And y'all, the smell from this is beautiful. I mean, beautiful. All right, so here's another thing that I need to do at this point, okay? So if you like your cabbage cooked through, that's fine. That's okay. I don't. Okay, I just feel like cabbage needs to be, you know, have a little crisp to it. So what I do, and if you don't have like a big sieve, I'm pretty sure they professionally make like those steaming little pots that you can just put on top of your cooking pot. I don't have those, okay? So this will do. So I'm just gonna put it over my pot. My cabbage is already washed, and I'm just gonna put them on top of the sieve. And what I'm looking to happen to these, I just want them steamed, okay? Not over steamed. I just want them to kind of lose a little bit of the bitter taste. I'm not looking to cook this all the way through. I still want them, you know, crispy. So I don't want to put them in the soup, because then if you put it in the soup, it just, trust me, just follow the recipe, okay? So then we're gonna cover this. Now I said, if you don't have one of these, see if you can find like a steaming pot. If you don't have that and you don't have a problem with putting your cabbage into the soup, you can do that, but try to do it last minute, like probably the last 10 minutes or 7 minutes before you serve your soup. So mine, I'm just gonna put together with the potatoes because the steaming does take a little while, right? So it is 4:25 now, so I'm gonna give this another 40 minutes just so I can make sure all the potatoes are cooked through, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's still on medium heat. All my spice has gone in. I didn't add any more salt because this honestly has also more salt in it. So that's why I was saying you don't need to adjust a lot of anytime you add water, you don't need to adjust the spice, because if you do put this midpoint your soup, then you don't need to do all, okay? Alright, so guys, perfect timing. I think we are golden, but we're just gonna make sure, okay? So I did remove my cabbage halfway through because I realized the potatoes were not cooking as fast, and I didn't want the cabbage too overcooked. So this is just a habit. I don't know why I do this, but I just feel like it adds flavor to it. So see, still retained its color. It's a little steamed, which is perfect. So we are going to remove this, just put it on the side. They're ready to plate. So look at that. What? All right, so what I want to do now, I want to check if the meat is nice and tender. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab like all the different, well, no need, it's just falling off. So I'm pretty sure all the meat is cooked, so I'm just gonna skip that step. Next is my favorite part, which is plating. Aren't you guys excited? I'm hungry, so we're all hungry, so we're excited. Okay, so actually I'm gonna move some of this stuff away. And so my kids love this with rice. Remember in the beginning of the video I said you can kind of have this with anything. My babe loves this with chapati, so I did cut up a few chapatis that we have left from my cousin making them before she left after a visit. So shout out to Tracy. Mwah, thank you. I can't make chapatis for anything, but no judgment here, okay? I know people who can make them, so I make it do what it do, okay? So Tracy made some chapatis before she left, so I still had some left over. So I just kind of warmed that up in a Ziploc, warmed it, cut it up. And I just like mine plain. I just like the soup. I want to feel all the flavors, so I don't really mix mine with anything. So I'm getting ready to plate this. So I had made some rice. And by the way, I have a hack for like making, this is basmati rice, but for like making the perfect rice, okay? So if you guys want to find out what my hack is, in the comments below, you know, write it out. Let me know if you guys want me to do that video. I will be more than happy to do that, okay? This is something I've been doing since I was in college when I didn't have pots or pans. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so the kids like theirs with the base of rice. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna put the rice at the bottom, okay? I'm gonna put that away. Now, remember the limes? I hope you guys didn't forget about that. So we're gonna do the limes at this stage. So get your life together. But get yourself together. Get you a lime squeezer. It just makes life easier. And so I'm just gonna squeeze about half a lime. Just depending on how much you like. I like lots of lime, so the kids probably not so much. I know my daughter loves a lot of lime. Which, by the way, we should have her here when we're plating, right? What you guys think? I think so. Gigi! Alright.
What up, people? It's Genie Hacker in the hood.
In the hood? What, you don't even live in the hood.
No, I'm not Hacker.
Listen, y'all. I literally have like a painting in my house that says, "This house is loud. This house is just a mess and fun." And it literally is what you're seeing right now. We're not even gonna edit any of this part out because I want you guys to understand, like, we're real out here, okay? So do the lime.
I like a lot of lime.
Yeah, I put lots of lime in yours. Okay. So I know Daddy likes lime a lot too. So. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay.
That smells good.
I think 3 is good. Okay. So we're just gonna put that away. And we're gonna come back here to our steamed cabbage.
I like cabbage.
I love cabbage. So we are gonna plate the cabbage first. I like the cabbage in the bottom just because I don't want it floating in the soup. So you don't have to plate it like professional. It just needs to be edible, okay? So alright. Some for Gigi. MJ doesn't like a lot of cabbage, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of cabbage. Alright. So we're gonna put this away. And it's time for the soup! What?
It's been 3 hours.
It has. It literally has been 3 hours. Now I know I said it sometimes it usually is supposed to take 2 hours, but that really depends on what kind of meat you use. So the meat we chose is a lot more meaty than like oxtail or something else. So it did take me about 3 hours, and I did have to adjust the water a lot. Like I did have to use. So, and see, that's what you want. Did you see that? You see that? The potatoes are well done. They're broken into. Oh my god. All right, we've been hungry for like the last 3 hours, so we're ready for this.
You could have done it. You know how we usually make food earlier and then when it's lunchtime it's already there?
Yeah, well, I need to learn how to do that. This is my first video, so we're just gonna go with it, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so it's Gigi's. MJ doesn't like a lot of meat in his, so I'm just gonna do like a bunch of potatoes and just the soup. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just gonna take like a big chunk of nyama and a big old potato for the man of the house.
That's a big potato.
That is a big potato.
It's golden.
Right. And if you don't have, like, if you're a fan of soup and you don't have like these big bowls, honestly invest in some, because it just makes the experience so much better. I mean, why would you not? I'm over exaggerating. I just love big soup bowls, so I happen to have some, which I love. The kids, because they're gonna break my bowls, I'm not trying to deal with all that. They use plastic, right? So I'm gonna plate this last one. Ooh.
This might go good with some noodles.
Yes, if you do have noodles, egg noodles, rice noodles, this would be perfect for that. Like this soup, all you have to do is kind of like just warm up the noodles and then drop them in like I did the cabbage just before you start doing the soup. Alright, so remember we have our lime like at the bottom, then we did our cabbage. If you're gonna serve this with like a side of rice or chapati or anything, then just have that ready, okay? So I just turned off the heat. Get that for me? Okay. I just turned off the heat for the soup because I don't want it to overcook. Now this is probably gonna serve us again for dinner. Well, I know it's gonna serve me. The rest of the family might not want to have soup again. But this is gonna at least take me for dinner tonight, and lunch tomorrow. So I probably, if I need to, I'll make some more tomorrow at some point, okay? Then, last but not least,
Some onions.
I want to do some Salt Bae action, but I know I'm just gonna just make a big mess in the kitchen. So, your green onions. If you have chives, they work same. So, but I love green onions, so I'm just gonna go with the green onions, okay? And this goes last.
Those look like noodles.
They do.
This is healthy.
Yeah. All right. So that was the last of our ingredient. And I just want to get a shot of. I'm just gonna get I want to get a shot of just how it looks in different, like served differently. Okay, so this is with a base of rice. That's just plain, and this is with a side of chapati. Which looks awesome, by the way. Okay. Look at that beauty. All right, my loves, it has been fun hanging out with you guys, sharing one of my favorite recipes. Feel free to ask questions in the comments if you need to, you know, if you guys want more recipes like this or from us, let us know. We will be more than happy to do them for you guys. Until next time, loves, this has been My Kitchen, My Rules via Maryann Kariuki's channel. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.